This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I want to talk about why I practice seed retention and why I recommend that you should be doing that as well. Think about a man's ejaculations throughout his entire life. Let's say he ejaculates approximately 100 times every single year until the age of 92. Let's say puberty started around 12 years old. That's 80 years of 100 ejaculations every single year. 8,000 ejaculations to be exact. Now if you take the average guy who basically has approximately 2 kids throughout his lifetime. Some guys have 0, some have 1, some have 3, and then a few people have 4+, right? From this, you see that 2 out of 8,000 or 1 out of every 4,000 times that he ejaculates, something comes out of it. It's something fruitful came out of his ejaculation, which means that the 3,999 other times that he ejaculated, it was simply a waste. Could it be that we've been designed in such a way as to retain the seed for other purposes than only wasting the seed or having that 1 every 4,000 times become a child? Why on earth would the universe design man in such a way as to waste a resource like that for nothing? It takes a lot of energy from the body to create sperm. However, what's fantastic about this production is that if you retain that seed, that energy is restored into your body, reabsorbed into your body, and allows you to become more energetic than you were before the sperm was produced. Okay? Which means that the sperm production actually creates energy instead of taking away energy, unless you waste it. You are actually using energy from your organs, from your body, to create sperm that is released, wasted into nothingness 3,999 times out of 4,000. And what did you get out of it? You might have gotten pleasure from the orgasm, great, but that could have been created in a different way. So there must be another reason. Okay, the energy that is reabsorbed into the body is for the organs to get nurtured back from their investment in producing sperm. Okay, so it's like the organs are investing into creating sperm, and then the sperm being reabsorbed into the body because you're retaining it is now producing energy in your life and in your body. So what are some of the benefits that I've seen and the reason why I live seed retention, why I preach seed retention? Because the benefits are too many to count on 2 hands, okay? So let me just share some of the benefits. One of the things is basically, this is what happened the first time that I pulled out. We were having sex, but my wife was pregnant at the time, and she was like, yeah, maybe we can end now, like maybe you don't have to ejaculate. And you know what? I pulled out, but at the same time I was like, I wanted to finish up, it's kind of like the blue balls type thing happening. And I was like, but at the same time, I felt really, empowered by it because I still had energy and I was still horny and I was still excited about life. I didn't have to sleep right afterwards. I could do something else and I was still energetic. And I was like, maybe there's something more to this than what I imagined there to be. So 5 years before I got married, I ejaculated less than 5 times, but I was doing it because I thought it was a sin, because I thought that, God doesn't want me to ejaculate. Now, I know that God doesn't want you to, but I don't look at it as a sin anymore. It was just, I just didn't do it during that time before I got married. After I got married, I ejaculated all the time, every single time we had sex. But then I began to experiment with the fact of 2 things. One was this experience that I shared about my wife, kind of asking me if I could pull out and not ejaculate so she didn't have to wash up, all that stuff. But the second aspect of it was the fact that I was, struggling like a lot of guys with premature ejaculation, that I was coming too fast compared to, what she desired me to last, right? And then I took the principle to the extreme. Instead of just focusing on, well, I should last longer, how about if I last longest? Like completely, basically not ejaculate at all. And I started researching all the material that I found online about it, and thank goodness for the internet, because it taught me a lot of stuff when it comes to seed retention. And from then on, pretty much, I've been, tinkering with the idea of seed retention and experiencing these benefits in my life that you can also experience in yours. That was this aspect from the relationship aspect. One other thing about this, my wife loves sex a lot more now compared to the times when I ejaculated, where basically I was getting tons of pleasure from the experience, and during that time maybe she was struggling with orgasm and all that stuff, right? But now things are completely different, because I satisfy her needs and then we're kind of done. And she loves that aspect of the fact that, I got pleasure from it as well, obviously, but she also got the pleasure, and then we end when we want to end. Okay? That's one aspect that's cool about it. So the relationship and the sexual relationship is way better simply because of seed retention. Now, obviously, if you practice this, like I've explained now in the relationship, you can ejaculate at the end, but the fact is, there are also tons of other benefits that I'm not going to go into. There are 3 different aspects of life. You've got relationship, health, and finance. Now, I would say the health benefits are the biggest benefits that you get from seed retention. Kind of, okay? Let me explain. I've already explained about the energy that is produced from seed retention, but if you think about the health benefits from your organs working at their optimal rate and optimal, function, that will improve your immune system massively. Okay? For me, I read a player blog once back in the day, trying to learn about women, and during those in those player blogs, there was one guy who was sharing his experience that he had sex with so many ladies. Like, this was the month that he was the busiest, having sex with different kinds of girls, blah, blah, blah. And he was saying that, that was the time he had the worst flu, the worst, basically, being sick than he'd ever had in his entire life as well. Connect the dots, dude. He didn't even connect the dots, but I knew from personal experience that the reason why he was snotty and had the flu and everything was horrible with his health at the same time that he had a lot of girls was simply because he was ejaculating all the time. The point is, health benefits from it is that your immune system is working at its optimal function, and that allows your body to retain energy and to produce energy, which leads to other benefits in every single area of your life. Recovery time as well, if you do get sick or if a virus infects your body, because that's still possible, it's not like you're immortal because you practice seed retention, your recovery time will be faster from the fact that you don't ejaculate and that you just allow your sperm production to work all on its own. If you are married eventually, and when that day comes as well, sexual healing is even better if you don't, if you practice seed retention, your recovery time will be even faster at that time. So going into the energy part and infusing that into relationships, okay? And I'm talking about any kind of relationships, but, including romantic relationships in the future as well. The fact of energy in you creates self-confidence, okay? If you've got a lot of energy, you've got a lot of social magnetism, which means that you attract people to you instead of repelling them against you. A guy who's like, kind of like that, that's from ejaculation, from him ejaculating all the time. A guy that's like this and fired up, that's basically because he's retaining his sperm, or he has a high sex drive, and he's retaining it somehow and infusing that into his relationships with other people. Awesome. social magnetism is basically, it's confidence, it's self-esteem, and people around you can sense it, and they're more attracted to you, and they're more fired up about being with you. What do you think happens to their energy when you've got energy? They basically get fired up, and then they send you energy back, which gets you even more energetic. And then you have this, connection back and forth. And then they basically spread the word about how energetic and excited you are about life. And then people come to you because they want to get excited. And so they come with the expectation of being excited around you, which means that you get excitement from other people now because it spreads like a chain reaction of a network of people trying to connect with you because you are so magnetic. You'd see that that's one of the positive aspects of seed retention. What do you think happens when you connect that to financial goals and your business? Business is all about connecting with people. There's nothing else to it. Confidence and understanding and knowing how to deal with people is the name of the game in business. Of course, you've got to serve people, you've got to create a product, blah, 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 but it's about people skills and personal social magnetism that creates a business, a real life business that actually lasts because people like you and they come back to you because there's energy, and you create a vision for your team and your team follows that vision because you got the energy, more energy than they have, and then it just massively works. Those are some of the benefits that I've experienced in my life from practicing seed retention, but there are tons more that I'm not even going to spend time on sharing right now. If you do want to hear more about this though, go through all of my videos on this channel. Make sure you subscribe and like this one as well. There's so much more for me to share about it. I'm excited to have you part of the journey. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you in the next one.